Hey everybody, I'm Steve. This is my wife Rachel, and we're here at our condo in Center City in our living room. And we've been going to Watershed about 3.5 years now. We've been in Charlotte that long. We started attending as soon as we moved here. And so here we are, Easter Sunday. And Easter Sunday always reminds me of a time about probably, what is it? It's 2009. So it's been several years ago. I can't even think to count right now. But when I was in the Air Force, we were involved in the community a lot. And one Easter Sunday, I was tasked with putting on an Easter bunny costume and going out and hiding Easter eggs for a group of first and second graders. There were somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 150 kids there. Anyways, I'm going about my business, hiding the eggs, and all of a sudden, these children came upon me like a pack of wild hyenas, and they all started pulling my tail. And I had a little, cottontail on this costume, and every time I would move, there was another child there pulling my tail, and I couldn't get away from him. So it was very traumatic for me, but somehow through years of counseling, I've been able to get through that, and so now I'm back to where I can enjoy Easter again.
I didn't know Steve at that point, but I'd pretty much give anything to see that whole scenario.
It was scary.
I'm sure it was.
It's been about a year now since I was in Malawi, Africa, and I have been reading a lot about the HIV/AIDS pandemic, poverty, the fact that there are 1 million orphans in Malawi, and I wanted to see firsthand how I could help. I had started this nonprofit about 1.5 years ago, and so I wanted to get over there and figure out a way to provide hope for these people. The truth is, hope is the driving force behind what we do with this nonprofit. And Easter is the reason we have this hope. And so I'd like to share with you a verse from 1 Peter this morning. It's 1 Peter 1:3, and it is, "What a God we have, and how fortunate we are to have him, this Father of our Master Jesus. Because Jesus was raised from the dead, we've been given a brand new life and have everything to live for, including a future in heaven, and the future starts now." And that ties in also to a book that I've been reading by Erwin McManus, and it's called Wide Awake. Hope is what pulls you forward into the future, knowing no matter how bad things get, when you are pursuing the life God created you to live and the future he calls you to create, nothing and no one can stop you.
There's been an interesting journey as we've become involved in this nonprofit and helping people in Malawi. There's been times where you're so excited about what's going on, and then there's times where things happen or don't happen the way that you're hoping they would. It can be very discouraging. And when you watch the news, especially lately, it seems like everything's so negative, and you just hear a lot of what's going on around the world. It can be very discouraging. One stat that I heard last week was about the children, that there's an additional 22 children dying every hour because of the downturn in the economy that we have right now. And I can often start thinking about those things and really get discouraged and wonder what can we do about this. And I have to turn back to Jesus and remember that he showed mercy on us, and that we need to show mercy on others. And even if we feel like it's not going where we want it to go, or we're discouraged about it, we just need to continue showing mercy as Jesus did.
We also lead a block called Theodicy, and Theodicy is God's mercy in light of human suffering. And this book is by Brian McLaren. It's called Everything Must Change, and it talks a lot about these social justice issues such as poverty, the gap between the rich and the poor. And as I was reading this book through the first time, I found myself getting very discouraged as I just read about all of the problems on a global scale that we encounter on a daily basis. And I was ready to just throw this book out the window. And there was one statement that really captured me, and it's a statement that Rach and I go back to consistently. And it says, "But despair is boring and uncreative, and to succumb to it is to empower it." What we would encourage you today is not only to celebrate this day and celebrate the resurrection of Jesus on this special day, but also to celebrate life, realizing that life in Jesus is much more than just a destination, but He gave us a purpose. And so we should find ways each day to provide hope to the people that we encounter on our street corner, the people in our neighborhoods, or in villages across the globe in Africa. We should be hope givers, and we should learn to celebrate that each day.
A way that Steve and I often celebrate points in our lives is with a glass of wine.
Yep.
So with that, we're going to do a toast.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To Easter and what Easter means to us, providing hope, and that in turn can help us to provide hope for others. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.